guys. You good?
I'm ready.
Um,
All right. Well, then we're starting another episode of Making Waves. This is the Christmas edition.
Fuck
oh,
yeah.
Unbeknownst, we won't have another one until after Saint Nicholas has been through. So, anyway, Jack from Dead Poet Society, thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Been a long time coming. The last time we spoke to you was when you guys put out the exclamation point album. I don't know what else to call that album.
Is that what
That's
it's
okay.
called?
Nobody does. I don't know what to
Okay.
call it.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask. I'm a huge fan, by the way,
Yeah.
of your band in general. That record is phenomenal. And
Thank you.
first question I actually had, Justin, was, what is the name? Is it like Chick, or
It's, to be honest, like when we came up with the name of the album, we didn't want it to have a sound. We wanted people to like look at it and just know what it is, or just like come up with their own name for it. And then our label was the marketing team and everybody doing all the, like interviews and shit was like, we have to call it something. We're like, fuck, I don't want to call it anything. So they would just come up with a name. And so I was like, or somebody suggested the exclamation album. And I was like, fine, that'll work. But that's not what it's called. It's just a dash, an exclamation point, and dash.
The only reason they did it is because they need to put something on this promotional t-shirts. They just can't put nothing unless it's the White Album, right? So
Right.
yeah, you just got to go with something. So
Good
job, marketing team.
Have you seen the
guys.
movie Me, You, and Everyone We Know? No, sorry, You and I and Everyone We Know, not the more recent something version similar to that. All right, well, there's this. Okay, then it won't land. But there's a scene where these two kids are chatting on the internet, in a chat thing, and they're real young, and one of them breaks off the youngest one at school and continues a conversation with in a sexual manner with some lady. But their back and forth was like, well, what would you want to do to me? And he sends a picture. He sends a two parentheses this way, so this way, and then arrow, and then two parentheses this way. So, and he was trying to say to poop back and forth, the same poop forever. And I was like, oh man, it's so fucking close. You could have gotten there with just a few more parenthesis marks. And X record.
Yeah. Fuck, that's what we should have named it.
Anyways,
that's old news. Let's talk about the new album Fission, man. You guys coming that it's going to be out like almost like a week before ShipRocked, so that's really good timing. And the fact that you guys have basically dropped 5 songs already off it, it's like you might as well just drop the rest of the fucking album,
right?
So, yeah, but I gotta tell you, man, I only just started listening to, is it 81 tones or 81 tons?
81 tons.
Tons, okay. You guys are being fun with the spelling.
With the spelling, yeah.
All right. Did you just have a serious breakup?
Oh yeah, baby.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of this album is based off of a relationship that I had freshly gotten out of right when we started writing the album.
Think?
Yeah, and right when exclamation point dropped. So the whole album isn't about that, but quite a snippet of it was. And yeah, so a few of the songs are pretty reflective of that.
Man, they're fucking good. I'm sorry you went through that. They are fucking good.
But hey,
Thanks,
man, you know what? You're lucky, brother, because you got this cathartic platform to put on this out, and you now know, like, you got it out of your system, I guess, sort of. We always kind of, there's always blowback, but you're now helping other people listen. I'm going, God damn, that song resonates because this fucking dude or this chick fucked me up so hard it hurt.
Yeah.
Right. And then they'll put on track 6 and go, this is my song, or whatever track number that is for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dude, so man, that's it's really good because it's a bit of romance and commerce at the same point. That's nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It means a lot when people reach out too and say like, this song helped me with this, or this song helped me with that. And we've gotten that in the past too. And so it's nice seeing that something that you feel other people feel too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah,
dude. Your ex-girlfriend's an absolute fucking bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, speaking of, I mean, obviously she's probably heard these tracks or listened to them or got curious, went online and listened to them. She reached out to you?
No, she hasn't. You know, and I wish her well. I wish her well. You know, I'm in a much better headspace now than I was at the time. So wherever she is in the world, hope she's doing well.
You guys and Anton.
She'll be calling. She'll be calling.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, those song titles alone are for what you know.
Yeah.
More recently, the singles "Hope You Hate Me" and "How Could I Love You," and specifically now knowing that is definitely a correlation there. I was like, oh, okay, maybe, but you know,
Right.
Up to interpretation. You guys and Anton though, that's a fucking deadly combo. This production on
He's
this
fucking
shit.
dope.
You got, I mean, it's a marriage, dude. I don't know if the whole record will be as cohesive as the last 5 or 6 songs that have come out, but I'm so excited for it, man. Do you guys ever work together before?
No, we had never worked together. One of our favorite bands, Cleopatra, we know he had worked with them, and then he worked with quite a few of our friends. And so we were working with a guy named Benjamin Rice for the first half of the album, and one of the most insane vocal producers I've ever met, if not the most insane vocal producer I've ever met. And then we decided we would work out with Anton on finishing up the album. And yeah, both of them just absolutely killed it. And Anton really brought it home. It's pretty awesome.
Stoked to hear the whole thing, man.
Yeah. What's super interesting, man, is you guys are dropping this album and your first place you're doing is you're touring it in Europe.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll get a sample size of it on the ship, but yeah, you're fully fledged. You're going on a nice sightseeing tour after the cruise. Any rationale behind that? Because like this NME and all those guys, they all big fans, and you thought, well, let's start there, let's hit it hard there, or what's the story there?
So we've been having a lot of fans popping up in Europe, and we've been over there like 3 or 4 times now, and it just kind of the way the tour line or the way it was like set up, because we're gonna have a US tour coming after, which we should be announcing like this week or next week, something like that, coming immediately after that. But it was just, I don't know, between ShipRocked and then the way this tour worked out, like where it was placed, it's the kind of like, I don't know, perfect way to just scoop as far as we can across the globe and then end up right back home by the end of the US tour. And so
yeah, that's a great run too, man. 2 months over there, you guys are hitting a lot of spaces.
Yeah, awesome. I know. We're playing in total for this tour with US and Europe. We're gonna be playing 60 shows, and we've never done a tour that long before.
Isn't it amazing to hear that number and go, that's a lot of shows, but then you go, Cheap Trick used to do like 250.
I know, right? Yeah.
The touring. Well, even still, it's just, so you think about, I was talking about someone the other day about work rates, like the work rates of bands from the era of that 70s or whatever, where they're putting out 2 albums a year, touring, and then they're putting in they're putting like 150 dates at minimum, right? Because that was the push. But it's just so funny, and you go, man, 60 dates nowadays that's a full on tour, man. Yeah. And you're feeling it after halfway through. You're like, we have 30 more to go. Holy fuck.
It's pretty fucking wild, dude.
This year has been busy for you as fuck too, it looks like.
What'd you say?
I mean, I said you guys have been busy this year, like super fucking busy, it looks like.
Yeah, we toured a lot this year. And also like starting off, this is the coolest way to start off the tour though, because we're going to be playing 2 shows with Highly Suspect. Then we basically have a vacation by just going and playing your cruise.
Yeah. With Highly Suspect.
With Highly Suspect. So that's just going to be a fun fucking time. And then we have 4 days off in Portugal. And then we start the tour. So it's like the perfect like way to start it. It's just so, yeah. And then it's going to be just a whirlwind. I'll be a different person by the end of this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think? So it looks like you guys have toured a shit ton in Europe in general already, or like, you know, for as long as you've been touring. But you guys started 2013, right?
Right. Yeah.
You just started like touring, I guess, 2018.
Yeah, we started touring 2018 issues when we really started to hit it.
So you got the pandemic in there, but with that brick of 5 years, it looks like you've been to, the UK and Europe, what, 4 times probably now?
Yeah, I think it's 4 times.
Do you notice the difference between US fan bases at shows versus, I figured as much. I certainly did.
Yeah.
What do you think what can you attribute their willingness to invest in a younger, newer band like yourselves? Do you notice anything specifically?
Um, Mostly I would say in the Netherlands and like the UK is really where it's been like super popping off for us.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know how to describe it, but in London and in the Netherlands, there's this like ferocious chaos to the audiences when we play. And we're noticing it more and more throughout Europe. It's starting to spread, but like, the whole thing is just one big mosh pit party.
Hmm.
And it kind of started in those two places. And now we're actually biggest there. We're gonna sell out this venue called Melkweg in Amsterdam, and it's gonna be the largest show we've ever played. We're like 150 tickets away from selling at a 1,000 cap venue, which is like fucking mind blowing for
Fucking
me,
awesome.
because it was like the first 10 years of
Yeah.
our band was playing, to like 50 people, and now it's like this touring is finally starting to like compound, and people are getting excited. And I'm sorry to answer your question. There's a visceralness to Europe that I also found in Mexico. So our band started touring originally in Mexico before we toured anywhere else. Um, we had been shouted out by a YouTuber down there that had a band as well. His name's Joe. And so we toured Mexico like 8 or 9 times. They were short tours, but in that
Oh,
first before 2018, that was where we always toured, was down there because we had a fan base. And they're very similar to like London and the Netherlands. And actually like Prague and Warsaw are go pretty hard too, but there's like this freeness to like there's instantly nobody feels judged. Everybody feels like open and ready to go. And you don't have to try. It's like the party's already there and you're just facilitating it.
I'm going to attribute this to several things. I think obviously Mexico, anything South American and Latin is they're very hot and spicy. They're very emotional people, right?
Right.
They're surface, man. They're surface. Europeans still see you, and this sounds so crazy to think of American band, but you're exotic because you are American, right? You're an import. So that
Yeah.
seems a little sexier, right? It's like English bands over here. That's like the
Yeah.
Struts seem like an exotic band because they're English. So, it
Right.
seems like even though they're more American than English in the way they play and present
A level of
themselves.
sophistication.
Correct. And that's another thing too. And I think European audiences, they tend to be like the French. They're just passionate, right? Everything's passionate, and music still drives the culture. Here it's been put, social media, gaming, everything has kind of overrun it. And you still have media there that supports music other than the odd blabbermouth or whatever bullshit. There's no
Right.
real drivers here. Rolling Stone doesn't even cover music as more anymore unless it's Lizzo or something, right?
Yeah.
So to have those things, and sophisticated audiences too, like you mentioned, those are sophisticated audiences, and they're like with art and books and literature, they're just so, everything is just so they
Right.
realize it's like their food. They devour it because they enjoy it so much. Here we always
Yes.
still watching it, man, like who's getting judged, who am I being judged by, everything. They don't give a fuck over there because they've been taught their whole life not to give a fuck what anyone thinks. Here we still
Yeah.
give a fuck about shit. So I don't want to jump too high, I don't want to do too mouthy, this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
My
No, I
diatribe
think
is over.
yeah. No, I tend to agree with that. I think that like European audiences, to further your point, they I think this is more so attributed to the uh risk taking of the industry people over there versus the risk
Trust.
taking of the industry over there. They're not afraid to put us on like cross genre festivals with like pop bands.
Yeah.
And the two best festivals we've ever played have been Pink Pop and Worcester in Belgium. And because of those festivals, like it's like I think that so many people over here would be so accepting to many different genres of music if it wasn't all about playing it safe.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's a
That's a
trust
great.
that's been lost. I think the other thing comes down to is like their curators or tastemakers. They the genuine the general public that's subscribing to the publications even they the word is still bond a little bit more so than it is here where we're behind a paywall of what advertisers actually got us there, and we've been
Mhm.
cynical in to a point of we should be, over there when
Mhm.
you get a piece in Metal Hammer or Enemy or Kerrang or whatever, it's not like it's because it was paid for, by the
Right.
full page ad, and people still trust those those curators to when they're doing the that's weird that popped up when they're doing the festivals. They're like, oh, I want to see these bands on the undercard, and I'll be there early because I trust the people who are putting the festival on musical taste that I will enjoy this greatly,
Right. Right.
so
That's a really great point because you're right. You guys, Dead Poets, you guys could play on and I'm not kidding, you guys could play on a Hellfest right under Cradle of Filth. And I don't need people to blink an eye to go, oh. I mean, it nowadays, because it took someone like Vakken, where it's like it's all metal, 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 and then they've got Dropkick Murphys. Like, where the fuck now it works, right?
Right.
And over here, you can take a festival like Louder Than Life, a Wimmer festival, and they got what they got, and then for some reason they put Hardy into the bill or Wetzel, country guy. You can't put that there. You absolutely can, and it's absolutely
Yeah.
going to work.
And you absolutely should because exactly.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely going to work because the thing is, if you have a festival with one fucking sound, by the end of the day, your brain's shut off. It's like it doesn't matter how good the artist is. You've heard this one particular type of sound for 6 hours now. Your brain's done. It's like, I get it, But if you're throwing like pop, country, rock, rap, all fucking together, it's like everybody's brain is constantly switching gears, and it's so much more interesting.
It's the Bill Graham way of thinking, right? Put BB King with Jimi Hendrix, it works.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're following a vibe, And if you have somebody booking this festival right, then they're gonna curate that vibe throughout the day. I want it to start like this and flow like this,
Yeah, it's literally like putting a record together, like in a way when you're like, how do I want this to open, and I mean, the closer is obviously dictated by the ticket sales in that space, but
of course, everybody wants to end the day with Metallica.
I think it would be really good to have Post Malone in the midday before when the sun comes down. So question for you, well, you just mentioned Dropkick Murphys, Justin, so going into Boston, right? That's where you guys are from, or are you from there, or you just went to school there?
I was born there. I lived there till I was 6 or 7, moved to Virginia, then I went back for college. So we all formed in Boston.
Okay. So what's it like there these days as a band in the music scene? Is there one?
In Boston?
Yeah.
So we moved out to California in 2016 after we all graduated.
Oh, so you're not there anymore?
Yes. So we're not there anymore. I wish I was still there. I fucking love it there. But,
Well, I know a lot about Los Angeles. I was wondering what, I mean, do you go back and visit? Are there friends that have bands there? Like, what is Boston's vibe in that space these days?
Most of my friends have moved away, and we're actually on this upcoming tour that we're gonna announce. Boston is a date in there, and I'm so fucking excited. We're playing a venue called the Sinclair in Harvard Square, and I don't know, but when I go there in April, I will let you know.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes after you said, I'll expect a text to be like, it's pretty good, actually.
Just play by your phone all day.
It seems pretty robust. I mean, you got a lot of new venues opening up. You got more bands are playing Fenway to capacity crowds, so the audience is there. Obviously, it's changed. You got like, what's that new place, the Roadrunner out in Brighton? Or
maybe I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. That's like they took over.
There? I don't know if Middle East is still there.
I love that.
I know TT the Bears closed down like years ago, but Big Night Live, that's a new venue too. Big Night Live. Yeah,
college town always gonna have a scene, right? There's always gonna be a scene because there's a radio station for college. There's college radio that pushes it.
Yeah, dude. When we were going to college, house shows were the fucking thing, and in this suburb called Alston, one of our friends lived in a house that had a basement venue called the Banana Hammock, and to this day, playing that basement is one of my favorite shows of all time. It was just absolute chaos. It sounded like shit. Everybody was sweaty and moshing. It's like, I'll remember that forever, dude. Basement shows, love them.
Yeah. They fucking slap, dude. They stick and they slap.
Hey, Chad mentioned you 2013. So, guys, a lot of people don't realize you guys have been around for a decade. They always think, oh, you guys are kind of a new band, right?
Right.
And that's far from the truth. And so I was listening to stuff from 2013, 2014, and man, and I don't know if you heard it, but the similarities to, remember TV on the radio?
Yes, I'm not too familiar with them, but yeah.
Go back and listen to some of their stuff, just to cue up your early stuff, the first EPs or album, and then listen to that going, man, this sounds really familiar. And I was going to ask you if there's any, but obviously there's not because you're not too familiar with them. I thought, man, is there some sort of like crossover there where you guys heard that band went, kind of sound like them. That's a good groove. We can kind of do that.
Huh. Okay. I'll check them out after this. That's
okay. All right. Just wanted to put that on the radar for you because I was like, man, that sounds pretty similar.
I'm looking for new music all the time. So
there you go. It's funny when we talk about new music. We always think about new music as stuff that just got made. What music do you personally discovered from like 40 years ago? Man, it's new to me now, so it's new music. Do you run into that a lot?
Yeah, I mean, there's occasionally, like, I didn't get into the Violent Femmes until I was in my like mid-20s. And our old bassist, like, he went through a phase of that and put them on all the time. So I was like, this band is fucking sick, dude. What is this? And so I found them. I started listening to them a lot. Yeah, so I've had that happen a couple times.
Dude, I'm surprised they didn't come with your college application package as a freshman. Album is, I mean, it's kind of like every college student should have that in their collection at some point.
Yeah, it's funny because they also had like a they dropped the album that blew them up, dropped in like 1983 or something, and they didn't blow up till like 1993 or something. Yeah, so it took them a long time to get that going, but yeah.
It's okay. I was going to say it took composers 300 or 400 years to get noticed, so they're doing okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I was thinking in context of like how long we've been around now, and people think we're a new band. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this a fucking minute. It's just that we sucked. So
Speaking of sucking, when you guys went to Berklee, right? What did you go to Berklee for? Like, what was the goal? Was it to find 3 other dudes to play music with?
No, honestly not. And I've told this story a lot, but I actually didn't want to join a band, and Dead Poets Society had been around for like a year before I was ever in it, and they had been like going through like different members. The only original member of Dead Poets Society is Jack, the guitarist, and I remember one of my best friends was drumming for them my freshman year at Berklee, and there was like a meme about them being horrible. They had released some like covers that were like awful, dude. And I like sat my friend Landon down, and I was like, dude, you got to get out of this band. It fucking sucks. They suck, dude. And then like 6 months later, I ended up joining the band.
Was he still in the band then?
No.
Oh, dude, he was probably like, you fuck.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. You guys still on talking terms?
Oh yeah. No, he's doing fine. He does trailer work up in Canada, and he's living his life. Yeah, he's a great guy.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So were you going to school for like a very specific reason that you went to Berklee, or like production, or what was it?
No, I never. I tend to never have a plan. I don't know what I'm just kind of like, I kind of want to do this, and so let me figure it out. And I didn't know what I was doing, but it was Dead Poets Society that like kind of like set that direction. And I went to school for guitar, and then I remember I was sitting in a class. It was like a blues lab or something like that, and I was like the last chair. It was like a semicircle, and everybody was taking a solo. and like going around the room, and I was like watching everybody play, and then it was like getting closer and closer to me, and it got to the guy right before me, and I was like, I fucking suck at guitar. And so like I went down to the instrument, like where you change your like major or whatnot, and I switched from guitar to voice, and I was like, I'm doing this now. And
that day?
Yeah. I mean, I've been singing and playing and stuff like that, but like I like wanted to be a guitarist, I didn't want to be a vocalist. But I was like, I'm better at singing, I think. And so I went down there and changed it.
That's hilarious, but also, I mean, no, it's just hilarious. The whole thing is really funny. I picturing you in the circle and being like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's exactly what the only two words that went through my head. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, no.
Can I please use the restroom real quick?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty wild. Did you do? What about your other friend, the other guys in the band? Were they, doing
they all
something?
wanted to be in a band. They all really wanted to form a band, so I was kind of the last holdout.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, on touring, dude, is there a certain room in the world you want to play? Do you have like hey, that's going to be, if there's one room I want to play, it's got to be this one. And have you already played it?
2 rooms, yeah. Different scales. The Norva, yes, I have played it. It's in Norfolk, Virginia, but I would love to headline it one day. And then a bigger far off goal is the Hampton Coliseum, which is, far bigger.
The
It's
Hampton,
like
Virginia Coliseum. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Have you heard of it?
Dude, I'm from Virginia.
No fucking way. Where are you from?
Yeah, dude. I grew up I was born in Portsmouth, but then I grew up in Virginia and Vienna and Fairfax area.
Dude, I grew up in Hampton. That's where I am right now.
That's hysterical, dude. Oh, the Hampton Coliseum's classic, dude. Every show went through there. Yeah.
No fucking shit, dude.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's funny you mentioned those, and those are like homegrown to you. And I guess that's kind of a deal as like a local. Like if you're from Texas, you want to play, I mean, whatever. Back in the day, you want to play Reunion Arena or whatever the fuck it was, whatever the big room was. So, but you're not like, it's not like, oh, I want to play Carnegie Hall and Wembley.
No, very specific.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, dude, there's people in Washington that want to play the Black Cat, right?
Right.
Because because Nirvana played there, or Fu Manchu played there, or whatever band they love played there. They just want to follow in the footsteps, which is admirable because it goes back to what you guys are talking about. These was it Basement Party?
Basement shows, yeah, the banana hammock.
Okay, yeah, like you get to a point like, hey, it doesn't matter if the Foo Fighters, Grohl still sometimes wants to go play some like 300 cap room just because to do it, right? For that excitement to kind of get back that we're kind of in a malaise because we're playing these great big shows with 20,000 people. Awesome. But we want to feel the sweat again.
Right.
Yeah. So I could definitely see that. So I imagine going and playing those rooms makes sense too. Even though Hampton Coliseum is a fucking dome. That's a big room.
Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. That's the pinnacle for me.
God damn.
What's your favorite show then? Do you have a fucking show that you can just, besides the banana hammock, that in the more recent years that has been like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Whether it was the vibe, the way you played, yada yada.
I think our whole July tour in Europe, that was like the first time that I felt like a fucking band. Like we're like, oh shit, this is actually happening. It was like we'd sold out like 3 or 4 shows on that tour, and they're like smaller rooms, like 200 to 400 cap rooms, and and we sold out a 425 cap room in Nijmegen, Netherlands, and that show was unreal. Like 425 people coming out to see us play, like that was like, what the fuck, dude? So that show sticks out quite a bit in my mind.
Do you remember the feeling that you that said, because I know mine, and the moment when I was like, yeah, this is the best that it's ever been, and it probably will ever be, and that's probably not the case, but you know that feeling. I guess so you look
Yeah.
over. Okay, cool. Was it when you were playing? Was it before you played? I'm just kind of curious, like what the vibe was.
It was kind of the whole day. You know, I'm really weird with. I love every aspect of touring. Like it's like touring is like it's a lot like camping where it. I mean, I'm sure you guys know it sucks, but you love it. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm weird that I love like loading in. I love setting up merch. I love just just every aspect of it is just like awesome to me. And so like throughout that day, I was just having like fucking giddy little moments where I'm setting up the merch, being like, holy shit, like this show is gonna like this is actually happening. You know, it
Oh,
was
it's
like
sold out in advance too, so you knew it.
What'd you say?
It's sold out in advance, like you
In
knew it was already.
advance, yeah.
Okay, sick,
So we
dude.
knew
Okay,
that
yeah.
it was sold out, and then and it was a legit venue. It wasn't like, you know, the green room wasn't a closet behind the stage. There was a legit green room, and there was like catering and shit, and there were people working, and like they weren't working just because they're there to sell drinks, but they're working to help set up the show. And you're like, whoa, these people are here working today because we're here. And
Yeah.
it was just, I don't know, it was just, yeah, that whole experience was awesome.
Dude, that's got to be mind-blowing, man, to think like it was a massive world we live in with billions of people. Yet there's 425 people in the small area of Netherlands that loves your band enough to spend money in advance to get tickets to make sure they got into that room. That is
Yeah,
mind-blowing. No matter if it's 50 or 50,000, it's still a mind-blowing thing to think about. Because you're not, you know, it's like we're just one band. How the
yeah,
fuck do they find out
exactly.
about us? Is there some
Right.
radio station over there we don't know about? I mean, it's crazy.
It's so cool, man. It's so sick to just think that, you know, like there's somebody that got time off work or got a babysitter and went and stood in a line and just
Yeah.
for, you know, to come enjoy like a night with us. It's just I don't know, it's the sickest shit ever. Yeah.
I don't know if
Because
you
it's not your hour set either. It's like it's the infrastructure around that moment of playing, the babysitters, all the things you just said. That's
Right.
all.
Yeah, it's just like
You're driving economy.
Yeah. I was just saying,
yeah, that's right.
like just a lot of
You're keeping that
gratitude and
club open one
appreciation.
more night. Yeah.
Yeah, the babysitter's paying their fucking phone bill, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
hey, Jack, you were talking about the excitement of getting on the road, the cool and suck aspect of it. When you were growing up, before you got into a band and stuff, when you were going to shows, were you one of those guys that like looked around at everything, like checked the lights, checked out, just walking in the hallway, see how merch and stuff, just every little aspect of everything in that building besides the show? Were you one of those guys as well?
You know, I was actually I didn't actually go to my first live concert until I was like 15, 16 years old. And and so you know, I didn't really get the opportunity to do that stuff, but it did always fascinate me when like people would play and you'd like see them walk around the stage and you're like, is that purposeful or are they just feeling it? And then like, you know, like seeing all the lighting rigs and like thinking about the like level of complexity to put it on a show has always been like really fascinating to me, you know, like between lighting and backstage and crew and gear and venue and all that. It's super. And then when we started touring, you get it scales with your skill level very steadily. So you start out and you have no fucking idea. You're like, we're selling our own merch, like we take cash and that's it. And then like you're like, well, what else do you do? I mean, I guess did like PayPal exist? Maybe we could have people PayPal us as well. And then you learn about POS systems. And then like you start learning about sound. And I remember we were like thinking like, well, the guy's always miking our amps, but we like to turn them up. So like if we faced them towards the wall, it wouldn't be like going straight into people's ears and shit. And so it's like you start to learn all these like things that aren't really relevant, but you're just every single moment you're accumulating these little bits of knowledge every single show of like you see some old sound guy do something, you're like, oh, that's sick, I didn't know you could do that. And that constant being able to like figure out something new that you didn't know before about touring and how the industry works, it just keeps you engaged throughout the whole process. I think I over answered your question. I think I just started rambling.
Listen, I mean, touring is great. Like you talk about merch. I mean, you start really, okay, we got shirts, we got little tchotchkes here, but then you go start going, wait a minute. You mean we can sign set lists and sell those as well? It's just a piece of paper we photocopied and we can make $20. We can do picks for every show. Just get them stamped for each date. Those will sell out. You're thinking, man, these other little ways to bring in like, your streams of income. That's the game though, right? Every time you're learning, there's no end to your learning curves with the live thing. Yeah. Especially now that it's like the revenue driver for your band.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then like to see like it all work, like you play the show and you know how many little bits and pieces are working to make that show happen, like the lighting guy, the sound. I mean, for us, it's still a very small scale, but like I'm talking more so for like bands we've opened for, watching this kind of like choreograph of all these different people doing their jobs.
Yeah.
And then it just all accumulates to just this like moment on stage. It's very cool.
Yeah.
So like Nothing More. You guys just went out with Nothing More in the fall, right? With High Road the Hero. A tour with those dudes before with all of their mechanic goal. At the time they didn't have the Scorpion. Yeah, they had something else. This is before the Scorpion, but like seeing that, right? I don't know if Trevor's still out with him or not, but watching that stuff, and being a part of all of that, you're in the. I mean, if you don't go on time, right? As a support band, you fucked up the engine, of the vehicle. So like, yeah. It is the coolest part. The mechanics of it all is, I agree with you, man.
They're super interesting, just like, because they, somebody in that band, just like in Bad Flower, and I mean this in the best way, is somebody in Nothing More is a psycho, and so is somebody in Bad Flower, because the way that they like handle all their like in-house, like they'll sync their lights to their show, but they'll create their entire light show. I mean, that's just like seeing the level of complexity of watching two laptops sitting up on the side of stage, and they're just trusting this entire thing they've you're just watching all these things go off and like all these little buttons and everything like that. And to like go and program that and then like learn how to like set it up and sync it with the like house. It's just like, it's an interesting level of brilliance to to watch like bands like that go and do their thing, because it's it's crazy.
You're competing with so much too in those spaces, whether you are the headliner like Nothing More or your direct support like Dead Poets Society. That same day, there's other stuff going on. Those people in that room have seen other shows. So you're constantly thinking of how can I stand out without busting the bank, right? Everything's super expensive in the infrastructure of touring in general. So you start to come up with ideas to make,
Make
1 equal
simpler.
10. That one line. If I just learn to do this, then I can get a light show and not have to pay for the actual, like the nut that would cost. And I can actually raise the value of what my ticket price is, yada yada.
Exactly. Yeah. And
it is interesting.
I can't even imagine learning an entire program like that, but maybe we will one day. That's the kind of infinite complexity that is really cool about live shows.
Plus
is
AI.
There God, let's wait. I don't know how that's going to apply in the live thing, but
very well.
God damn it. Like the last human goddamn experience we have, and they want to fuck with that too. Is there a certain band out there you want to tour that it's kind of like, I'm not saying dream tour, but who would you love to go on the road with? Like, who do you think would fare well with?
Dream bands to tour with. I think number one is Muse, just because they were one of my favorite bands growing up, and I think we would fit on a bill really well with them. Other bands that I would love to tour with, but I don't think we would fit on a bill with very well. It's like some of my favorite bands right now are like Turnstile and Idols.
Dude.
My favorite band of all time competing with Muse is probably Royal Blood. I would fucking
That'd be a great bill. That bill makes sense. You know, you say the same demographic.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. We get compared to them every day, so might as well put the two together. No, but that's like a dream band to tour with. Yeah, probably those two would be Muse and Royal Blood are probably my biggest, like,
Yeah.
if I did that, I'd be like, holy fuck.
All right. Important question. Favorite place to eat on tour?
Favorite place to tour?
To eat on tour. What's been your favorite? What city's giving you the best palate dance?
Oh.
What the fuck I'm saying?
Palate dance. I love that, dude.
I just picture you holding a wood palate.
Description.
Your palate, your tongue,
I know.
Yeah, my palate dance. What restaurant is giving me the best palate dance?
No, what city have you gone, man? The food here is amazing. The food is amazing.
Oh, anywhere in the South, dude. I mean, like anywhere that has barbecue.
Memphis then. Okay.
In. Yeah. Yeah, like
all right.
Nashville, Memphis.
Okay.
That wasn't on tour, I was just visiting a friend, but there's I went down to Austin, had some barbecue down there.
Oh yeah. What's the name of that place down there that's at Franklin's? Is that the big
Franklin's? I didn't
joint?
go to Franklin's. No, I went to this what is the name of it? It's like this place in the middle of nowhere. It's like 20 minutes outside of Austin. And you just roll up and there's like 300 tables and they're just smoking all day. It's so sick. Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah. Okay. So the South. You like the Southern home cooking. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Any type of barbecue, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite city in Europe?
No, sorry. Yeah.
I gotta ask. What's your favorite city in Europe?
Favorite city in Europe?
Yeah.
Either Amsterdam or Prague. Those two are pretty amazing.
Prague, both of them are fucking right on their top tier shit, man.
Yep.
Are you when you're in Amsterdam? Do you partake?
The other guys in the band do. Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on what you're saying. Partake in, but
the cannabis cafes and everything. Yeah. Well, yes, there's the red light district. If you do that, fine, by all means. But I'm talking about the cannabis cafes and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't smoke anymore, but everybody else in the band does. So yeah, definitely.
It's such an incredible city. And Prague, obviously too. You kind of like it's jaw dropping.
Oh my god, dude! Prague is it's like Disney World, except real life.
War torn Disney World, exactly what it is.
War torn Disney World, dude. Yeah.
All right, Chad. I'm sorry, buddy. I interrupted you there.
I'm gonna lean into your sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Are you into visual artists in the art form of like? But I just noticed that you worked with the same director. I mean, I'm huge into that sort of marriage. You know, and I think what is his name? Edward. I'm not familiar with him, but Edward Curran am I saying it right?
Oh, Edward Curran. Yeah. Curran. Eddie Curran.
It looks like he's done at least 3 of your videos. Am I right?
Yep, he has. Yeah, he's awesome dude. And he's been really great to work with because when we tend to have very, very, very specific visions with our music videos, and he's someone that gets the feeling and vibe that we try to create in our music videos. So he's been awesome to work with because he's very fluid in his opinions too, and his vision. He knows that it's like a balance back and forth. And so he really gets the vibe of what we're going for and mixing those two wavelengths together. Just he's worked really well with some of the stuff we do. And so yeah, visual art, it's just such a massive component to music in general, or not component, but complement to music, you know, when you can really catch a vibe with multiple senses. And like this was a dope sweater I found that H&M, and I was like, oh, I like Keith Haring. And so I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Noted.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, all right, rock, let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, the videos are really great, and to see his name pop up a few times, I had to ask the question because it's like I said, it's an important marriage of those mediums to tell your story, especially what seemingly is a pretty dark, deep story of this record. So
yeah.
Well, Jack,
and, go ahead.
No, I want you to finish your thought.
We have, so I know you said we released a lot of singles. We're gonna have one more single coming out. We haven't really announced it yet, so maybe this is the first place it should be said. But we're gonna have one more single coming out, and
the album.
Before the whole album drops, and it's different. It's different.
I'm excited.
It's still very powerful with our sound, but it's much more like uplifting.
You're not going to tell us the title of the song,
or even the date.
I mean, because I was just going to go on the YouTube, and I was going to go on YouTube and find the leaked album and just kind of pick it up from there. But
right,
oh man,
right. Wait. So when does this podcast drop?
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Fuck it.
We might make it Tuesday since this Christmas. Yeah, since we don't do it on Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Tuesday. Okay.
What's the song?
All right, so the song's going to be called My Condition.
Oh, you went frozen. What was this song?
The song's called My Condition.
Okay.
And I'm excited to put it out because I think it's one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite song we've ever written.
Okay.
And the music video that we're going with, to bring it back to the visual art, dude, I just got the first 45 seconds back, and it's sick, but holy fuck, I'm so nervous to release it because it is like very different.
Let's go. Oh man, I'm excited for it. That jacks me up.
Visual aside, why is it your favorite song?
The lyrics and the meaning of it is very directed towards going your own way and carving your own path, and like this career has been very, 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 very hard, challenging, if you want to put it in like a positive spin. And but at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for fucking anything. And everything that I've been through along the way, I wouldn't trade for anything. And so it's a song that is about that. And I think everybody in the band connects with it very deeply, and it means a lot to all of us. And so I'm excited to put it out. It's not like our other shit, but I'm excited for it,
dude.
So with that said, awesome. If you weren't a musician in a band, what would you be doing for your occupation?
I don't fucking know. A line cook somewhere. Yeah.
It does like barbecue.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've never really given it too much thought because this has been the number one goal forever. But I came very close to joining the military. If I hadn't gotten into Berklee, I would have done that. And then I don't know, maybe some sort of fucking fitness thing.
Well, think about it this way: you may not be in the military, but your product is an APHIS, so you're in the military.
Yeah, no, I won't go that far, but yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a couple of PXs there that have your album or your CD. They still make CDs. I don't even know anymore.
No, we do have some fans that are veterans in active duty, and that's always really fucking sick too.
Yeah,
I love that. But yeah, so within the ears of some military dudes, that's as close as I got to the military.
All right, very good. So listen, we're the ShipRocked podcast. Let's talk about ShipRocked, man. You guys have been on before. Your second time around, man. What are you looking to do? What are your expectations? Are they different? You feel comfortable going back? what's your feeling about all of it?
Well, now that we've played it before and we have even more friends playing it, I think it's gonna be just fucking chaos in a great way. I'm looking forward to it so much. I'm gonna have so much fun. It's like it's like what like name something remotely better than being paid to go on vacation and then play shows on that vacation. Like
Nothing.
it's gonna be so sick, dude. And all your friends are there. And like
man,
what?
you know what? I wouldn't mind being on like the Falcon 3 when it like went to space and back. That'd be pretty cool.
Yo, are you a spaceman?
Yeah, I'm just big space guy, dude.
Dude, the Starship launch? Did you watch the Starship launch?
I watch every launch, man. Yep.
Me too.
Well, dude, I grew up when like, fucking dating myself, but like G.I. Joe Space Locker and the little space station, all that shit from like the late 60s. And growing up, like reading Ray Bradbury, like his initial books were about, they were built for children to read about going to space and outer space and aliens and that life before it started changing and getting more into the adult themes of space and technology and shit. But yeah, man, so I never left my love of that stuff, and it's awesome.
If somebody offered you the chance to ride Falcon 9 into space, would you do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Even if it meant there might be a try, you may not come back, I'd still take it.
Yep, me too, dude.
Yeah, like, yeah, dude, something may happen. Fine.
Fucking send me up there, dude. See Earth from that perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, so good. You're stoked, and you're looking forward to spending a week with us, which is gonna be fucking awesome.
I'm so stoked for it, dude.
Yeah. Hey, Chad, do we want to play Walk the Plank with our friend here?
I would like to play. It's pretty simple, dude. If we've been asking you questions. We're just gonna ask you a few more. They're less targeted into your band and what's going on, more just like life general questions. Then what's cool, I think, is we ask our own question to you, and we'll also ask a question from last week's guest who didn't know who this week's guest was. You'll get to answer it, then ask a question, passing it on to next week. Yada yada. My question for you is, what is a smell you associate with your childhood?
Fuck.
Big League Chew.
Big League Chew. I had a little like thing the other day, and I don't know what the smell is, but like my friend Graham growing up had a very distinct smell in his house, and I never knew what it was. It's just like a house just smells like something, you know? And
did you ever find out what it was?
No. I mean, maybe it wasn't good, but
Mom didn't drop cheese behind the oven or anything like that.
Asbestos.
No. But when I went and visited my friend in Texas, I walked in, and like his house smelled exactly like my friend Graham's house, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is it a pleasant
guy
smell?
in Texas, his house, that reminds me of my childhood. What's up?
Was it pleasant? Was it foul or pleasant? Or...
No.
Okay.
It's a pleasant smell. It's a pleasant smell, but it's kind of ambiguous.
And you spent a lot of time with this human, so right? Is that why?
Right.
Okay.
Right, and it's probably a combination of like the cooking that they did. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. It's weird.
Dad fart. Just dad fart.
Dad fart. Just a lot of farting.
Well, no, man, the cooking gets stuck in the wallpaper because it's adhesive. That's and true. It grabs little. Chad, do you have a smell from your like youth that you What is it?
It's actually my friend's. So my best friend growing
asshole.
up, it was his ass. My friend's asshole. It smells is so good. It was his house. They're a Bengali family, Bangladesh, and you think it would be just the cooking, right? But I've been in a lot of different homes throughout that.
It's all the rattlesnakes.
Yeah. And it's just like something that was specifically in his home, in the upper area of the home. As soon as I smell it, it just fucking makes me smile. Yeah.
Dude, nice. You know a certain smell that I remember as a kid, not kid, like an early teen, and you can still have the smell, is get a cassette like your favorite band cassette, which they still make. Open up and then just smell the liner notes. They smell.
Farts.
No, dude, it's a total unique smell into itself, and I don't know if it's a combination of.
I can actually smell that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I know what you're talking about.
And it's funny thing is old concert tickets from the 80s smell the same way. It must have been the cardstock.
Yeah,
they had
that's
the thick
cardstock.
Okay, enough of that. My question is this. When's the last time you had a really good cry?
Oh, geez. Probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah. I lost my mom this year, and so that kind of hits me occasionally.
I'm sorry, dude. I should have asked you what's your favorite kind of spaghetti.
No, dude,
I'm sorry.
good question. No,
it's sorry, brother. Sorry about that, man.
No. Don't apologize. It's a good question. It's a good question because I think a lot of guys go a long time without crying because you just kind of shove shit down and move forward. And I think it's good to let that go occasionally. So I appreciate the question. Don't apologize for it.
Okay, very well. Thank you. I appreciate your honest answer. And you're right, man. My parents passed, man. I buried that shit and it comes up. Years later, still comes up, man. There's a certain moments. Christmas sucks. It's really hard, but you plow through it. You plow through it. So, Chad, let's change. Who was our guest last week that had a question for Jack this week?
Jamie of Code Orange wanted to ask, what's your favorite movie director?
Ooh. I mean, it's going to sound cliche, but Quentin Tarantino, like 110%. Like,
he's greatness is greatness.
I've seen Pulp Fiction like 6 times, and my friend a couple weeks ago put it on, and I was thinking like, oh, I've seen this movie so many times, I don't want to watch it again. Like, I'm just gonna go outside and like hang out by the fire and then like that first line, that just first opening scene with Samuel Jackson and fucking John Travolta talking, and I was just like, and then I just was sucked in for like the rest of the movie. Just the dialogue is so insane.
Yeah, really.
Dude, we watched Kill Bill the other night. Same thing. I'd seen it a million times. You go, holy fuck. And then, dude, I hated Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when I first saw it, and now it's my favorite Tarantino film.
Really? I should give that one another shot. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Dude, you know what I watched the other night, and I had never seen Asteroid City, the new Wes Anderson film? I was howling, dude. Because he gets quirkiness and little intricate quirkiness is his thing. And it's so rapid fire. You like, gotta rewind it. It's just, his cast is always the same. He has the same bit players, the way Tarantino utilizes his same folks, Jason Schwartzman and all those guys. It's so fucking funny because it's so quirky. Like, what the fuck? Whose mind is this? So good.
I'm gonna give that one a try. I kind of
give it a shot.
I love his earlier shit, man. I was huge on like Bottled.
What was the hotel one? What was that one? Hotel.
Fuck, I know which one you're talking about.
It's got that cadence, man. It's got that same fast-paced cadence. You got to keep up with the characters. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
This
Darjeeling Limited. Was that it?
That song.
But that's a good one. But I can't remember.
That visual that I was talking about with our new single that's going to come out, My Condition. It's pretty influenced by Wes Anderson. So. Yeah.
All right. Now I'm intrigued. Now I'm very intrigued.
What do you want to ask next week's?
Yeah. What do you
want to ask next week's guest, man?
For next week's guest,
you can't know who it is.
I can't know who it is.
No, sorry.
Okay. When was the last time you shit your pants?
Nice.
And where
Thank
was
you.
it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is the
Chad loves those. Chad loves those poop jokes. Yep, those are good.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's a question.
Observation. It's an observation. Well, let me tell you.
Hopefully, it's an observation.
Wait, now that I've asked the question, do I get to know who's coming on?
No, but I'll personally let you know what their answer was and who it was.
10 minutes after.
Actually, this is fun. I don't know if you'll know him, but I can't. We're still recording because the episode's not over, so I can't do it. Then I fucked up the whole thing. Yeah.
Just say it
and
after.
Where was it? Is that where was it?
When was the last time you shit your pants, and what was the story behind it?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up with that? What's the story?
Farted at a party and it just got too wrong on me. Yeah, it went sideways.
This is my favorite
Awesome.
question. Honestly, dude, the whole year, our next guest is the last guest of the year. This is my favorite question that I got to ask
yeah,
him.
dude.
Yeah. And I know who it is, and it's going to be so good to ask this question to this person.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, man.
Hey, Jack, man, we've had you for an hour, dude. We can't thank you for enough. I'm glad we were able to make this happen.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
Dude, it sounds like you're home with family.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have dinner with my dad.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, listen.
Enjoy.
Have a great Christmas, dude. Have a great New Year. Be safe. We'll see you in about a little over a month.
All right. I'll see you guys soon.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself.
Party on, bud.
See ya.
Bye-bye.